Hey, today I'm going to be changing the plugs on our 2004 Toyota Corolla. It's a fairly simple task. I got started on it, so let me just create a little video on it. So I'll show you what. First off, you have to take this little cover that sits on over here. There's a couple of 10mm nuts that you have to take off, and then what you do then is you're going to have to take, these are all bolted on, they go on top of it. I've already taken these out of all of them, and you have to take this clip off. And I've done the one here already, but a little tool like this works really good, because then you can get in here like this and lift that tab up, and then we get that tab up there, then you can start pulling the connector off. So you'll need a tool similar to this or something like that, so you can get in there and pull that off, because if you try and use a big screwdriver, they're going to end up just breaking them, and then it don't stay on. So then once you take those off, you can pull this thing out. It sits on top of it. See how long that is? I don't know if you can see down inside of here very well, but there's the spark plug way down inside of there. So you need to get one that's designed for spark plugs. This is the 5/8. And if you look inside, you may not see it very well, but there's a little piece of rubber in there, and that rubber goes on there and it'll snap onto those, so it'll pull that off. And you got to have quite a ways in there just to get to them. So what you have to do, let's see, try and get this socket off here. And I probably needed a little bit longer extension, but carefully take them off, loosen them up. And then when it gets really loose, you can just take the socket off and then just turn it out by hand. That works a little better. And it didn't hang on to that one. No, it's going to be fun to get a hold of that one. Try and get in there and change that. Oh, it's not hanging on. It's an old socket, so it probably doesn't stick on very well. I can almost need two hands here to do this. There we go. There we go. Got it. So now you can look and see. Doesn't look too bad, but I've got new ones that I'm going to put in here. And they look like that. That's a new one. Now to put them back in, you're going to have to put this back in here, because otherwise you're not going to get it back in that socket or into the place where it's supposed to go. Then I always like to turn them in by hand, because if they're not lined up straight, you get them cross-threaded, you can have lots and lots of trouble, especially that far in. That means you're going to have to probably tear the whole engine down to get down to where that's at. So you definitely don't want to strip them out. So, well, that's all you do here. Guess I didn't get it down tight enough. You don't get them fairly snug, then when you go to put your socket on there, your ratchet on your socket, it doesn't tighten up. You don't want to go really tight, just to the little bit of a resistance. And then once you get that, you're going to slide this long boot back in here. Now, unlike the old ones that you had the wires on them, I put all the nuts in a little container in here. You had to do them one at a time because you got the wires turned around in the wrong order. They just didn't work very well. And with these newer ones, it's, oops, I dropped my thing here. Let me pause this and I'll retrieve my sock. Yeah, somehow my camera stopped on me, but you can look to see between the two of them. Let's see if I can get a spot where you can actually see the two electrodes. You can see the used one is a little bit shorter, and more rounded. The new one is a little more pointed. So it was probably time to get them replaced. So after you put them back in, put the screw back in, all you have to do is take this little connector, snap it back on. You hear that little click, and you're done. And then once you get all those changed, then just put the cover back on. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it's just more of the same thing. Just got to repeat it 2 more times. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps somebody. The other thing I like to do is, if you can see here, I wrote down, I replaced the plugs, the date I replaced them, that's today's date, and the mileage is 169,364 miles. So now I know when I replaced them last, and I know when it was installed. I'll do the same thing. I'll take a silver marker when I replace the battery, then I'll write on them when it was installed. You know, and some of them have the coil packs. I'll write on them when it was installed. So if I was to replace any of these, I put a date on these, when I was changed, so I know when it was changed. If I have to change anything, I like to mark them so that I know when it was changed. We just changed the air filter, and I queued up a couple other things here just the other day to get it going. So I think we're getting a little bit better. I got plugs to change here, finish those up, and that's where I'm gonna end this now. Right now we're gonna be changing oil here pretty soon. Make sure we get everything in here changed. We've got a little bit of time on it from going on the last trip, so I want to make sure it's all fixed up for our next one. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody, and we'll see you on the next one.